Hello everyone, dear professors and panelists, good afternoon po. Today I would like to present my thesis research with title on the martyrdom of Vietnamese martyrs in the light of Jean-Luc Marion's Phenomenology of Sacrifice. There are two main reasons for me to choose the Phenomenology of Sacrifice. First is to make known the Vietnamese martyrs for what they have sacrificed for the Vietnamese church. Secondly, I want to show how the experience of sacrifice as martyrdom of the seminarians when their family members has passed away, when the sufferings that they endure to make the pure sacrifice. Abstract. This paper analyzes the martyrdom of Vietnamese martyrs in the light of Jean-Luc Marion's Phenomenology of Sacrifice. The fact of sacrifice is an act of giving love for others, while giving up one's life for faith or for others is an example of martyrdom. In this paper, I, the researcher, shows how Marion's Phenomenology of Sacrifice deepens the sacrifice of Vietnamese martyrs and how a person could bear it daily. The Vietnamese martyrs bore sufferings and became the highest witnesses of their faith and belief. Phenomenology helps one to understand his living experiences. Suffering takes place as a fact to a situation by sacrificing for what one loves. The concept of martyrdom gives a deeper meaning and is a higher degree of sacrifice. Some Christians, especially the religious missionaries, are starting from seminarians, submitted themselves to martyrdom. This study, therefore, further presents and analyzes the experiences and the acts of sacrifice and devotion of the present religious men and women, particularly the Vietnamese martyrs and saints. Background of study. Each person sacrifices for someone in one way or another. Martyrdom is expressing one's love for what he believes and lives for. The act of self-giving is a reminder of hope. It is a way of giving back to God through one's act of living. Like a seminarian's journey to be a missionary while suffering leads him to be a sacrificer. It is also a way of giving one's life for one another and martyrdom. State of the problem. How is martyrdom, specifically Vietnamese martyrdom, understood in the light of Marion's Phenomenology of Sacrifice? First question, what is Jean-Luc Marion's Phenomenology of Sacrifice? Second, what is sacrifice and martyrdom for the Vietnamese martyrs? The answer for these two questions, how are Vietnamese martyrs' narrative of sacrifice and martyrdom understood in the light of Jean-Luc Marion's Phenomenology of Sacrifice? To answer the first question, what is Jean-Luc Marion's Phenomenology of Sacrifice? The idea of phenomenology from Edmund Husserl and Martin Heidegger, which influenced Marion's phenomenology. The three measures of Marion's philosophy are from Cartesian theology and phenomenology, which we can call it ontotheology. Marion's concept of phenomenology are introduced in the trilogy as reduction and givenness, being given toward a phenomenology of givenness, and in essence studies of saturated phenomena. In Marion's phenomenology is famous with phenomenology of givenness, as he mentioned, so much reduction, so much givenness. This code contains the living experience of Marion in saturated phenomena, the gift and phenomenology of sacrifice. About the phenomenological concept of sacrifice, there are three levels of sacrifice, which are destruction or waste, economic or exchange, and sacrifice in truth and giveness. Jean-Luc Marion has separated the phenomenological concept of sacrifice in various aspects of the sacrifices that one can see the different points of phenomenology in the reason of the gift. In the phenomenology of sacrifice has to mention Marion's phenomenology flows from saturated phenomena to phenomenology of givenness because each one of these corresponds for others in Marion's phenomenology. What is sacrifice and martyrdom for the Vietnamese martyrs? The Vietnamese martyrs had chosen the death to sacrifice for the church. There was even the choices for them not to die, but they still choose to sacrifice for their faith as they believe as the truth. The witnesses are the examples for other Christians not only to remember that the martyrs sacrificed, but also to sacrifice as the martyrs did. The Vietnamese martyrs' narrative of sacrifice and martyrdom understood in the light of Jean-Luc Marion's phenomenology of sacrifice. In this part, it has been divided into separated narratives of sacrifice. Firstly is the relation and narration of Marion's phenomenology of sacrifice and Vietnamese martyrs. Secondly is the sacrifice of losing a beloved family member of the religious living experiences. This contains the interviews of religious living sacrifice as an act of martyrdom today from suffering of losing family members. The framework of phenomenology of sacrifice. The first, which in chapter 2, I show Marion's phenomenology of sacrifice under saturated phenomena, phenomenology of sacrifice, and phenomenology of givenness. In chapter 3, I give the Vietnamese martyrdom under Vietnamese church history, the characteristics of martyrs, and the narrative sacrifice of Vietnamese martyr. And in the chapter 4, I connect between Marion's phenomenology of sacrifice towards characteristics of martyrs and narrative sacrifice, and towards the contribution is the religious living experience in sacrifice, which correspond to the act of martyrdom and the phenomenology of sacrifice from Jean-Luc Marion. Maraming salamat po sa inyong lahat.